They are some of our society's most vulnerable people, people who are part of our community, our family, our lives. The only difference, they need specialized care, care that any one of us would demand if need be. But what happens when that service is cut down or taken away? Well, in some form or another, that's what's happening right across this province. Community Living BC, which is a Crown agency, has closed at least 19 group homes for people with developmental disabilities right across this province. But the cuts don't stop there. And that's the reason behind a public forum at the Garth Homer Society on Tuesday night, when Cheryl Magnuson got up to tell an emotional story about losing her child and losing her parental rights. Her story drew strong emotions from the audience. Magnuson's daughter, Angel, has developmental disabilities. She and hundreds like her across the province need specialized care with supervision. But now Community Living BC wants to put her into a home share program where she would live with a family, not a group home with trained healthcare workers.
If our child is moved to a home share arrangement, I can almost guarantee that somebody's going to get hurt. The only question I have is how fast will it occur and who will be the victim?
Magnuson, along with members from various organizations, came together to find solutions to the number of jobs, hours and care being cut in the community living sector.
I think we need to always be reviewing the services that people get, including where they live, group homes or staff resources, but I think we shouldn't be doing it with the view of cutting budgets.
Community Living BC has an annual budget of about $890 million, which serves about 13,000 people across the province. But the government wants to cut about $22 million of that, citing tough economic times. Critics say there's no more fat to be trimmed and the sector is at crisis stage. Along with hours being cut, employees being laid off, aging parents taking care of their disabled children, and program wait lists are so long. There's about 1,000 people waiting right now to get into programs and group homes.
People's choices are getting narrower and narrower, so their options about where they want to live, what kind of services they want to, and need to integrate into society and enjoy a fulfilling life are becoming more and more limited. And we're seeing a lot of really heartache because people's situations, like living in a group home with peers, is being broken up.
There's a huge human cost to make, as people have to wait too long for service, and it also ends up being more expensive in the long run, because if we support people when they need it in a way that's meaningful, we'll find there's a lot of efficiency in that too.
With a Liberal leadership race underway, these groups are hoping someone will listen.
They're all focused on getting re-elected, and there's a leadership race on. But all of the candidates have something to answer for, because this problem has started under the Liberals and continues under the Liberals, and the cuts are continuing.
Believe it or not, there is optimism in this room tonight. That's because they've never come together to tackle all these problems.
Well, I'm not sure that we'll find, every solution or that it will be ideal, but I certainly think that the kind of group that we're looking at tonight, working on it with great motivation and wonderful intent and real conviction, will obviously come up with some fantastic things that will certainly improve the situation.
So what does Community Living BC say? Well, Regional Manager David McPherson says that the home share model is a good one. It's designed for people with developmental disabilities to live more independently. And he says they aren't forcing anyone into these home shares, but he says more could have been done to communicate that. In Victoria, I'm Sucheta Singh, your health and wellness specialist.
Producing over 9,000 hours of local programming every year. This is Shaw TV, your local voice.